So this is DYSNOMIA. Like I said earlier, my first game that I ever wrote. And it is a surreal maze text adventure written and read by me, Alex Dallians. Thousands of stars, bestrewn upon the unending black expanse, come into focus as you blink your bleary eyes. You can touch the cold stone floor beneath your hands as you stand up and look around. It is quiet. You can make out a faint rumble in the distance. You are in a narrow hallway carved out of dark granite that leads off to your left and right. You sense a weight in your coat pocket and pull out a silver compass and a note, scribbled in ink on yellowed parchment paper. You may wish to draw a map to help you find your way back home. So we're going to start by walking west. A dark lynchette canvases the walls here. Before you stands a massive gateway, 2 granite slabs closed, barring your progress south. The weathered rock has intricate designs etched into it. You walk west. An ochre moss covered the ground here. The hallway terminates in a dead end. There's an immense pearl laying on the ground. You pick up the pearl, struggling to support its weight in your arms. Walk back to the east, and then further east, back to where you started, and then you continue east, and before you a destroyed verdigris pedestal rests in disarray. You walk south. Silvery weeds push through gravel floor in this corridor. Before you stands a massive gateway, 2 granite slabs closed, barring your progress south. The weathered rock has intricate designs etched into it, so we're going to walk back north. There's a large jade green pedestal. Its stonework is time-worn. You place the pearl on the pedestal. As you place the pearl on the pedestal, you can hear the grating sound of rock on rock, rumbling echo far away. You head back south to where you found the wall, but the gateway is now open, the passage continuing south from here. So you continue south as well. A sculpture of a bizarre gargoyle stands here. Its horrendous body contorts in impossible ways, and water spouts out of its eyes into a fountain around it. You continue south. The scenario walls are wider here. On the floor in front of you lays an old brass lamp. You pick up the lamp. As you pick up the lamp, you hear the sound of oil sloshing around inside. You walk to the west. You look up to see a giant maze hanging upside down in the sky, its labyrinthine passageways extending into the beyond. Before you on the ground terminates, and there's a 20-foot chasm until the room continues on the other side. Below you is open space, and you stare into the void for a while. The distance looks much too long to jump. Alright guys, so this is the first major choice of the game. Do you go back the way you came, or are you gonna jump across the void? Jump. Jump. Alright, so we're gonna jump across the void. You get a running start and jump, and your hands smack against the hard stonework beneath the precipice. You fall into nothingness and drift. The last thing you see is the disc-like labyrinth float away against the black backdrop of the stars and black space before the oxygen you have in your lungs is spent. Alright, so we're going to start over, and I'm going to take you back to where that was pretty quickly. So here we are. This is where we jumped. Okay, so we're going to pick up the lamp, and then we have to head back north, the way we came. So we're by the gargoyle. Now, we went south earlier, but we can actually go east, so we're going to head east. Before you, the ground terminates, and there's a 20-foot chasm until the room continues on the other side. Below you is open space, and you stare into the void for a while. The distance looks much too long to jump. So this is another gap. So we're going to jump, or are we going to punk out? Jump again. I'm waiting to see what Cody says, because I know he'll be very upset. Okay, there we go. Jump. Alright, so we'll jump across the void again. And we fall into nothingness and drift. Jackie, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Okay. So let's try again. Okay, so this is where we left off, where we jumped into the void a second time. So we're going to head back to the gargoyle. Yes, and now we're at the gateway that we opened by placing the pearl on the pedestal. So we're going to walk north from here. All right, so we can only walk west from here. So we're going to walk north. Onward, the hall is full of water 10 feet deep, stretching about 30 feet forward. You lean down to touch the water. It is icy cold. So we can swim across, or we can head back the way we came. Swimming it is, I guess. You sink into the frigid water and swim to the other side and pull yourself onto the earthen ground, soaking wet. The rock walls of the hall tighten as you enter this area. A piece of parchment lies on the floor. We'll read the parchment. There is a sick religion about this labyrinth, a sort of unempathetic residue of a forgotten age. I often wonder if this era was a mere moment before I arrived, or if I stumbled into this derelict prison untold ages after its last inhabitant. Is my environ tailor-made to me, my own personal hell? Or was it constructed for some other foul purpose, and am I trapped here by accident? What if I am the dreamer, the god of this black disk in the sky, trapped in my own delusion? Where then lies the key? I must have dreamt a way out of here, dreamt and forgotten. Alright, so we're on the other side of the little, I guess you could say, little lake here. So we can walk west or walk east. We'll walk west for now. Before me, once again, the ground terminates and there is a 20-foot chasm until the room continues on the other side. The distance looks much too long to jump. Oh, walk east, okay. Alright, the rock walls of the hall tighten as you enter this area. A piece of parchment lies on the floor. So we're going to walk east from here. A sculpture of a gargoyle, a grotesque gargoyle, stands here. Its deformed body, that's the it again, sports many clawed limbs, and 2 flames burn in its empty eye sockets, casting eerie shadows. I'm going to light my lantern with the gargoyle. You press the wick against the burning eyes of the gargoyle and the lantern comes to light, casting an orange glow around you. So let's walk to the north. Onward, the hall is full of water 10 feet deep, stretching about 30 feet forward. You lean down to touch the water. It is icy cold. It terminates in a dead end, so there's nowhere to swim this time. So we're going to head back the way we came. And we're going to walk west. And we're going to... What are we going to do here? So if we head west again, we reach the void. We have to head back. So I guess we have to walk south and swim across. Yes, we'll have to... I see. So we've swam across here. Alright. Strange amaranthine vines cover the walls here. The gateway is open. The passage continues north from here. Weathered rock has intricate designs etched into it. We'll head east. We're back at the Pearl. We're going to head south. We're back to the pedestal. We're going to walk south. And we're going to... Wait, let's go north and go west. Yes, now we're at the beginning of the game. We're going to head west again. And then can we go north from here? Preceding you on the far wall of this dead end is an engraving of a skull, many times larger than normal. Okay. Alright, so then we're going to head west. An ochre moss covers the ground here. We've been here before. By the way, I'm playing this without a map, which is a little difficult to do, and even though I wrote it, it's been several years since I wrote it. Yeah, exactly, you need a map for this. So we're gonna head south. The craggy floor under you is jagged, and you have to be careful as you advance forward. A piece of parchment lies on the floor. Let's read this parchment. Why am I here? How did I come to be in this place? I have no memory of coming here, nor memory of whatever lives I might have lived beforehand. I have only the present, a wisp of a thing that drains every moment as I wander these dark corridors. In my heart, I know there must be an answer, but all I have ever found are dead ends and attrition. I have taken to staring into the void between the hallways, pondering what fate I might have if I were to leap. Would I float and then drift back into the maze? Or would I perish in the cold expanse beyond, and which would satisfy my longing more? We're going to head south. Before you, there's a large switch on the wall. Next to it, inscribed in the masonry, are the words water level control. So let's turn the switch. There it is, I lost it. Or I forgot how to find this. In the distance, you listen to the sound of water gurgling. So we're going to walk to the north. We'll walk north again. We'll head back. This is where we began. East, and then north, and then west, and then north. And the water that was once here, the lake that was once here, has been drained, and you can now spot a trapdoor on the flooring. A ladder leads down to the bottom of the cistern and on the far side leading back up. So let's enter the trapdoor. The light of your lantern glows feebly against the brick rock that arcs overhead. It's damp down here, the walls claustrophobic and cylindrical. As you move forward, you can taste the air stale. Before you, a silver key lays on the ground. So let's pick up that key. And then we're going to walk east underground. The light of your lantern casts a fragile light upon the wall, revealing an etching on the wall of a hooded figure whose black robe dissipates into shadows. We're going to head south now. The air is musty. A ways down this passage, your progress is halted by a steel-rung gate that covers the entirety of the tunnel. So we need to head north again. And then we'll head west. And then we'll climb back up through the trapdoor. Now that we've hit another dead end, let's head north back towards, I believe the gargoyle was this way. We're back to the piece of parchment. So we're going to head east, I think. Here's the grotesque gargoyle. And if we walk north, the water that was once here has drained, and you can now spot a trapdoor on the flooring. A ladder leads down to the bottom of the cistern. So let's enter this trapdoor. The light of your lantern glows feebly against the brick rock that arcs overhead. It's damp down here, the walls claustrophobic and cylindrical. The weak light illuminates a large circle drawn on the ground with ash, circumscribed with more circles and lines, forming a strange insignia. So if we head south from here, you hear a low drone as you pass through this area. Before you, the underground passage reaches its terminus. There's a lever on the wall with a sign next to it that says gate. So we can pull this lever, which hopefully will let us pass through the other trapdoor. You can hear the dull echo of the sound of metal grating on metal. So we're going to walk north, climb up through the trapdoor, head south, west. I think it was south again. And then we'll enter the first trapdoor. And with the stale air, we'll head east by the hooded figure, and then south. The portcullis in this passage is open, allowing you passage. Further south, there is a ladder leading to an exit out of the underground passage. So we can climb this ladder. You climb the ladder and exit into a new section of the labyrinth. Ahead of you is a large marble altar. Brown stains run from a pool in the center down the sides in streaks. If we head east from here, there is a large God, I can't even speak my own writing here. There's a large Quaquilicot? Does anybody know how to pronounce that? I should know. I remember looking up how to pronounce it when I wrote this, but I don't remember. Quaquilicot. I believe it means orange, with a sign next to it that says bridge control. Turn the dial. As we crank the dial, you can make a clicking sound back from whence you came. Alright, so if we walk south, enigmatic symbols are carved onto the sides of this aisle. A piece of parchment lies on the floor here. Perfect. The writing on the wall I found yesterday, if we count days by hours between resting, have stirred a strange pressure in the back of my brain. It is not the first occasion I discovered words here, sighted and then lost again, like the maze shifts around me, out of sight. But these words, while their literal meaning eludes me, has given me an ailing hope that the purposeless nature of this place I had begun to believe may be untrue. This nauseating rhyme eats at me. I cannot now think even which hallway I unveiled it within, for my thoughts are so consumed with the unraveling of it. Perhaps, shall I meander enough, I will stroll upon its answer, not upon these wretched walls, but on the interiors of my mind. So we're going to continue south. The passageway terminates in a colossal golden door. It has many aberrant designs molded into the metal, and in the center there is a circle connecting both doors with 5 keyholes arranged at the points of a pentagram. Alright, so we found 1 key, but we have 5 keyholes. So we got some sneaking to do. Alright, so we're gonna head back the way we came. Head west. We're going to enter an underground passage. Let's see here. We're going to walk. Let's enter this passage. Let's see. Walk west. All right, we're going to climb up through the trap door. We're going to head south. And then I'm a little lost. So we're going to head east. Okay, we're back to the Pearl. So we can head south from here. We'll head south again. And then south once more. And we should be able to head... What is it? South. Rust clings to the floor. This is where we found the lantern. Ah, here we go. So we look up to see the same giant maze hanging upside down in the sky. But... where there used to be the void, now there is a chasm. Oh, I can see my cats. Hey, Mako. Across the chasm over empty space, there's a sturdy metal bridge that leads to the far side. So now we have access to this. Spooky. So we're going to cross the bridge. Before you at the end of the hallway is a strange control panel with a green monochrome screen. It reads invert gravity, and underneath it there is a red button. So let's press the red button. You feel a lurch in your stomach as you become lighter and lighter, and then you feel your feet drift off the ground and rip through the space between yourself and the maze overhead. As you approach, you can perceive the pull of gravity grows stronger, and you have to twist your body to make sure you land with your feet down. You connect with the ground with a thud. You look up to see where you once stood, and look ahead to a similar corridor stretching out to either sides of you. Above you, the passageways of the lower maze continue into the distance. On the wall, there is a control panel with a green monochrome screen. It reads invert gravity, and underneath it, there is a red button. So we are in a new part of the maze. So let's head to the west. Hey, Wayne. Before you is a behemoth statue of a clawed hand. It supports itself, bouncing on the points of its nails, like a beast ready to attack its prey. So we'll continue west further. Before you at the end of the hallway is a strange control panel with a green monochrome button. It reads invert gravity, and underneath it there's a blue button. So let's press the blue button. So it's different than the red button up here. We feel the same lurch as we flip over in space and land back on the maze, but in a different section. In front of us is another invert gravity control panel with a blue button. But we're going to walk west from here on the new section of the maze. A stinging wind rustles through this area. A piece of parchment lies on the floor. Let's read the parchment. Tonight I had the most blasphemous dream. Indeed, I am scrawling out this note but seconds upon waking. In the nightmare I was both the puppet and the puppeteer, parading myself around this prison, chanting and singing to the masters, all the while laughing at my own stupidity. I hate this dream. This wretched, vile thing to have planted in my consciousness this pollution of doubt that the creators may not be real. I hate even writing the script on this page, for it betrays even a drop of faithlessness. But the true horror, lurking out of sight, is if I did invent these deities, or even this infernal place, is that it would be inside me, that this world would be only the mold that grows on the skin of a rotten fruit, that I am, whatever sense of self I have that remains, the disease from which I have built these endless barricades to keep out. Jesus Christ. So we'll keep heading west. A skeleton rests here, its flesh having been eroded away long ago. By its right hand lays a rusted silver compass, like the one we started with. So we can head south from here. There is a peculiar smell in the air, like burnt wood. Before you lays a silver key lays on the ground. This corridor has reached its terminus. So we can pick up another key. We've got 2. We're getting there. Alright, so we're gonna head north. Back the way we came. We'll hit the blue button, which will flip us over back onto the maze in the sky. And we'll head east from here. And then we're back to the clawed hand. We'll head east. And we'll head east even further past the red button. As you progress, you sense a draft. A piece of parchment lies on the floor. I have begun my prayers to the masters of this sanctuary, for I am convinced of their ability to hear thoughts as well as words. I have yet to find the trophy I seek here, or a doorway that leads home, as was promised to me. But I know my soul rots not here. Instead, I see my duration here as a cocoon for the more powerful creation I have yet to become. As I roam, the air I breathe rips at and reassembles the very fibers of my being, the overlords composing their new piece methodically. And as I therefore resent not my term here, for even 1,000 lifetimes is worth my transformation. Before you at the end of the hallway is a strange control panel with a green monochrome screen. It says invert gravity, and there's a yellow button this time. So let's press the yellow button. So now we're coming off of the ceiling, back onto the original maze. And we can head east from here. You feel an eerie chill. Before you, a silver key lays on the ground. So let's pick up that key. We got 3, guys. We're almost there. Oh my god. All right, so we're going to head south. Before you, a monstrous head hangs on a golden shrine. You realize that this was once an elephant's head, but the eyes, ears, tusks, and tongues have been cut out of it, its face positioned in a demonic smile. Its leathered skin is slack, but has not rotten off. It is suspended by an iron chain wrapped around the tall Aurelian obelisk. This is a dead end. Alright, so we're getting somewhere. So we're gonna head north, west. We're heading back. We're gonna hit the yellow button to go back from the original maze, back up to the ceiling. Head west. West. Alright, and now we're back to the first button, the red button. So this will take us off of the maze overhead, back into the original maze. So we're back home. So we're gonna cross the bridge that we found. And we're gonna head east. Alright, so we're gonna head north. Where? Yeah, let's go west, north. Okay, so this is where the lake was drained, which was we were close to the second time we jumped, right? Because I remember we jumped here too. So we're gonna walk north, and we can jump this. So we're gonna head west. So across the chasm that was here where we jumped, there's a sturdy metal bridge that leads to the far side. So let's cross the bridge and walk west. All right. With every step, you can feel the wind growing warmer. In front of you is a dead tree, its dendritic arms stretching towards the stars, petrified by time. So we can head south from here. Ryan. Hey, what's up, Ryan? The air is humid here, thick. At the end of this hallway, a silver key lays on the ground. Guys, we're at 4 fucking keys. We're almost there. I have no fucking clue where the last key is. So we'll figure it out, though. Okay. We're gonna head north. All right. So we're gonna walk east and cross the bridge. And we're gonna walk east again. Can we walk east further from here? This is the gargoyle. Okay, we can head north. I don't think there's anything else by this trapdoor, so we're gonna head south and west. South. South again. East. South. West. Alright, so this is where we began. West again. Oh wait, that's where the pearl was. We can head south from here. This must be it. South. Damn it. North. North. Maybe north again? Nope, there's the fucking skull. So we're gonna head east, and then south. And then south. South again. Let's go east here. Ah, here's another chasm. Let's try this one. The atramentous pass before you is so dark it's hard to detect where the passageway ends and the space beyond it begins. At the end of this hallway, a silver key lies on the ground. There's number 4, baby. Or 5. That's 5. That's the 5 keys we need. Okay. So we're going to cross the bridge and walk west. Alright, we'll walk west again. I can't believe we found all 5. Alright. Now, I want to find the secret. So we're going to head west back. Ah, so here's the engraving of a skull many times larger than normal. So if you get all 5 keys, this is, I haven't revealed this before, but if you don't proceed to the end of the game, you actually go kind of off and you go back to this skull near the beginning. As you approach, the mouth opens, a piece of parchment within. So let's read the parchment. I stepped forth from the gate into the ruination of my village. Elation became horror as I saw the abandoned buildings, the distorted landscape, the dead bodies. I would choose endless imprisonment in Dysnomia over a life in the carcass of my home. And then I saw him, King of Death itself, the sentinel left by the masters to rule in Untega. I ran blindly and hid in a cave for days, my starvation trivial next to the terror of his visage. It was then that I found the gateway into the void, a place of nothingness and no oneness. I learned that Untega was the last human settlement to be eviscerated in the Master's conquest. Now I dwell among them, those unknowable interlopers, as a slave and vagabond. I write this note to you, brother or sister, scarred by the madness of Dysnomia, so that you will know the truth of what will become of civilization. I do not know what time you will be returned to when you first step through the gates, but I pray it is not after that horrible moment the first overlord stepped out of the void and into our reality. May my horror not be yours. Let's head south. Now we're gonna just try to find that passage. Should be pretty easy, so we'll walk east, east, north, west, north. Enter the trapdoor. East, south. Climb the ladder. East, south, south one more time, and we can unlock the colossal door with the silver keys. So let's do that. As you open the gate, you feel a rush of cold air strike your face. You step through the doorway and see giant snow-capped mountains and a small fishing village nestled in between them. The twilight before dawn paints the sky in cerulean hues, and you can see by the docks men organizing their boats before they go out to sea. You look back at the doors, but behind you there's only the leafless trees of a winter forest. You look up at the stars, now obscured by the atmosphere, and their reflection in the vast ocean. You hike down into the village, houses painted red and white, and sit on a bench in Times Square. People stroll about their business. On occasion, someone smiles as they pass by you. The sun breaks the skyline in orange beams of light wrapped around the mountains. You blink your bleary eyes against the bright light and continue further into town. You stop at a small, whitewashed house, dig through your pocket, and find the key. As you open the door, a large brown dog barks at your arrival, wagging its fluffy tail. You scoop a bowl full of dog food out of a canister by the pantry and lay it on the ground for your dog to eat. A piece of parchment rests on your kitchen counter. You walk over to it and read the familiar handwriting. I have found my way home. The end.